everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to Game 5 in a best of 7 series being played between Vile.Hawk and ThisIsJimmy. Hawk is our reigning champion on the V, week 23. He's the blue Zerg up here in the top left corner of Bel'Shir Beach, which is a map I'm actually not that familiar with. I think I've cast maybe one game on Bel'Shir Beach, and that's when it was first announced, because I wanted to actually have a look at it. But anyway, ThisIsJimmy is the purple Terran down here on the bottom right side of Bel'Shir Beach. This is the edition with Xel'Naga towers that actually pop up out of the ground. They're actually way cooler than normal Xel'Naga towers, so watch out for those later on. Some people in our chat say they've never seen this map. It's actually really cool. You should watch the GSL more often so you can see this awesome map. But it's just very pretty. Like, there's water and like scantipedes and gold bases with rocks and all kinds of stuff. One weird little feature actually of Bel'Shir Beach is this natural here, there's like a weird cliff here, so Terran can actually put up siege tanks and stuff like that. There's really not a whole lot of other uses though. Nidus worm spot perhaps, but it's kind of strange. We'll see if it comes into play or not. Jimmy gonna wall off between his main and his natural, kind of like you'd see on Tal'Darim Altar. But this is Game 5 in a best of 7 series being played for the V, week 23. Hosted by Complexity Gaming, sponsored by Creative Sound Blaster, PNY, and CupadUSA.com, and cast by me. I'm AskJoshy. You can check my stuff out on Facebook, Twitter, and most importantly, YouTube.com/AskJoshy. Check out all my stuff after the games are over here today. I would definitely appreciate it. I also work for IGN.com, and I would love it if you checked out IGN.com/IPL, because that's what I'd do all day, work on that thing, and it is awesome. And the grand finals are today. But anyway, ThisIsJimmy scouting around here. Looks like there's a little doodad there. That's kind of crazy looking. What is that thing? That's just a box. That's just a pile of crates, evidently. But Jimmy's going to get in here, see the hatchery, see no spawning pool. Extractor actually coming up before spawning pool, but I don't think Jimmy actually saw that. He didn't actually go farther enough in. He is building a tech lab on his first barracks, so if you're like me, you're probably expecting Reapers. There it is. 5th game in a row for Jimmy with that Reaper opening. Let's see if it works out for him this time. He's not even building a bunker. Kind of interesting. I like this placement for the Overlord by Vile.Hawk. He's going to be able to see anywhere bunkers are built over here. He's already got a drone lying in wait as well for that SCV to return and start to annoy the crap out of him. This Overlord here, also in a good spot, doesn't quite have vision of the natural, but it looks like he at least can see that this wall off is going on. Reaper will be done in just a moment, and Hawk does know about this bunker, so what is he going to do to prepare for it? The spawning pool is going to be done in a moment, but he's already pulling 6 drones total to try and surround this SCV and kill off this bunker. It would be great if he could manage to actually kill the SCV, because that guy can just return and start another bunker any moment. 6 drones pulled off the line is nothing to scoff at, though. That's a lot of mining time lost that Jimmy is not experiencing. You can see his economy basically stood still while he was dealing with that. ThisIsJimmy picking off a scantipede. Poor little guy had no chance to survive. Jimmy just hanging out with his Reaper, waiting for this bunker to complete. He's gonna have to get in there quickly to build that second bunker, or it's not gonna be happening because of that creep spread. Queen pops out at the natural. That's certainly gonna help the defense. Oh, look at that! Jimmy went up to a starport quickly. He went to a really fast starport. I want to see some Banshees. Banshees can be very cool. The Reaper versus Queen battle has initiated, and Queen number 2 over from the main has come over. We've got a ton of links here waiting for Zergling speed to finish. There's no real threat here for Hawk as long as this is going on. He's actually going to loop around the back here with his lings, and Jimmy's not going to see it. So this Reaper is basically as good as dead. That metabolic boost is going to be done here pretty soon. SCV just chilling, waiting to do some repairing, it looks like. The Queen spreading some creep tumors. Wait until you see the creep in the water. It actually looks pretty cool. But Jimmy hops inside of that bunker, keeps hopping in and out. Back at home, his starport's finished. He just added a tech lab onto it. He's building a second command center. There's that first Banshee in the production tab, and here we go. 3 Queens slamming away on that bunker. There's only 1 Reaper in there. Jimmy sort of feigned an attack. Like, the first few games he built at least 3 Reapers every single time, built 2 bunkers pretty much every single time, unless he was thwarted. And this time he built the 1 bunker, 1 Reaper, and went straight to that starport so he could start building. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze and I couldn't finish my sentence fast enough. so he could start building those Banshees. And he is getting Cloak, so first Banshee will be done here soon. Sorry about that sneeze. I can only imagine what that sounded like, but Hawk just chilling here with his Overlord. Jimmy is adding on a second barracks now. He's already got one Banshee in the air. He might as well head that guy over to the main or natural, wherever he's going to attack, because that Cloak will finish by the time he gets over there. Second Banshee about halfway done. His economy is kind of weak right now. He's got this command center here just waiting. Still hasn't dropped it over at the natural. He just had to lift it there to let that SCV go back to mining. That's kind of funny. Barracks floating up, letting the tank back inside. Might want to set that rally a little different. Oh, you actually can't because the tech lab is blocking it. Jimmy's having some positional difficulties here in Game 5. Hawk is taking his third base over here on the top, top location. I almost said top spawn, but it's actually not a spawn at all. It's just an expansion area. First Banshee already on the way. You can see the Xel'Naga Tower that sprouts up out of the ground that I mentioned earlier. I really like this Xel'Naga Tower compared to the other one. It's just kind of like a random relic from the campaign. First two Banshees have Cloak completed. They're going to pick off the Xel'Naga Tower. Oh, look at this here. Creep Tumors in the water. That just looks weird. These two Banshees going to continue on into the natural. They have Cloak, but Hawk doesn't know that. He's getting his Overseer very quickly, though. I like that. His lair is already done. I didn't even realize it. Spore Crawler going up at the natural, but it looks like it's not going to finish in time. The Overseer will sprout out, though, and these three Queens should be able to pick off these two Banshees if he's quick enough. The only problem here is, will he have enough anti-air available in his main if the Banshees scoot over there? 7 kills so far on these guys. 6 kills now for the Banshee, 3 for the other one. That's 9 total. Math is very fun. Lots more drones starting to take some damage now, and of course it only takes one volley from 2 Banshees to kill a drone outright. These Queens are going to chase around, but even on the creep they are a little bit slower than these Banshees. Of course, all this crap on the ground that the Queens have to walk around as well. There was no Spore Crawler in the main. That's going to make it difficult to defend against these Cloaked Banshees. 3 Banshees total. What do we end up with? 11 kills and 6 kills on our 2 original Gangsters. They're going to return home and get repaired up, most likely, and Jimmy takes his expansion pretty easily as a result. Let's look at that Control R. Workers killed 14-1, units killed 18-2. Jimmy looking very, very good here so far on Bel'Shir Beach, a map that I'm not that familiar with. I'm not even sure how familiar Hawk and Jimmy are with the map, but it's pretty darn cool looking, if I don't mind saying, or if you don't mind hearing, I guess, because I don't mind saying it. Semantics. 3 Banshees flying around now. We got some Mutalisks in the sky now, though. Hawk had that Spire up before I even noticed it. Jimmy gonna cloak and have to escape there. If these Mutas ever catch those Banshees uncloaked, it's gonna be very difficult for Jimmy to keep those guys alive. Jimmy heads back home. He's got more barracks coming up now. That'll put him up to, what, 4 barracks total, 1 factory and 1 starport with a tech lab. The Mutalisk is going to poke in here, take a look around most likely. Looks like the gold base for both players still just kind of sitting, waiting to be taken over. Hawk has his 3rd base, which makes me think a macro hatch will be coming up here soon. I don't see one on the production tab, and I don't see one at his natural, so this would be the first game where he did not drop a macro hatch. Looks like a Banshee did get picked off there by the Mutalisk. Sorry for missing that. I was a little bit distracted looking for that macro hatch. But yeah, this is the first game where he hasn't just gone to 3 bases, built a macro hatch. We'll see if he goes for a 4th or not. Mutalisk's still just flying around. Jimmy doesn't look to have any plans for expansion beyond 2 bases. It's going to be very difficult to wall off with supply depots on both these sides. Oh, good spotting of the Overlord. The medevac certainly assisted those Marines in killing the Overlord. Looks like he is building another command center, so he will be taking a 3rd base soon, but right now Mutalisks are going to pick off, oh, the Stim Pack Tech Lab. Oh, such a good target, and the Overseer come along for the ride. He could have been, actually, he could have, what's the word, contaminate. He could have contaminated one of these other production buildings too. That would have been classy. He could have just ran in there, acted as detection, let the Mutalisks kill off that Tech Lab, and contaminated something to just be a total boss all the way around. Could have actually even dropped a Changeling if he wanted to. There's that macro hatch. 3 bases macro hatch. Soon there will be a 4th. He's going to spend that larva, spend that larva. Let's look at the income tab, excuse me, almost said infestor tab. 66 harvesters for Hawk, despite losing a whole bunch to those Banshees earlier. 49 for Jimmy. Income does seem to be favoring Hawk in both minerals and gas, of course, as you would expect with such a huge worker lead. But Jimmy, actually not too far behind on supply, only about 17 behind. Now only about 12, 14 behind, always changing, of course. Banshee does find some free banelings, oh goodness, and a creep tumor, but these mutas will pick it off super duper immediately. What else is going on? There's another Banshee picking off creep tumors, actually 2 Banshees picking off creep tumors, and the mutas are going to spot them as well. As long as that Overseer is along for the ride, these Banshees are going to be in big trouble. It can be really hard to see that cloak effect over this shimmering water, especially with the creep underneath. That's like double motion graphics, and you're looking for just a blur over the top of that. It can be pretty hard to do. 4th base coming up here for Hawk. Look at this creep spread. The creep spread is so good. He's going to make it all the way to Jimmy's base here soon, as long as he has an unspent tumor. Here we go. This unspent tumor could just climb right up there into Jimmy's natural. Pretty good stuff. Oh, the Banshee's, the single Banshee is going to take some free shots at this hatch. It looks like he is going to respond with the Mutalisks. There's the Overseer, super slow Overseer. He's going to want that Overlord speed here soon. Pneumatized Carapace is about to be done. Banshee's, of course, not going to be able to kill this hatchery before the Overseer arrives. He's going to gun it straight for the Banshee. Pneumatized Carapace is done, and the Banshee will be destroyed. What are you building otherwise? Just Mass Tank Marine, it looks like. Jimmy's taking his 3rd base. Planetary Fortress coming up now. Pretty good move there for Jimmy. Can't fall too far behind Hawk in that economy game. He's already kind of far behind, so you definitely want to try to keep up. Thor is here. That will certainly help against these many Mutalisks. Wow, that's a ton of Mutalisks. That's more than even I thought. He had 25 now flying around. How are these upgrades looking? 1-1 for the Marines, 0-0 for the tanks. The Mutalisks are sitting at 1-0. Zerglings also at 1-0. Looks like +2 coming along for both of those. Both are going to be finished here in just a moment as well. Pathogen Glands finishing up. Hive already halfway done. Broodlord Infestor could be on the way here soon. So Jimmy will need to be doing some offense. Look at those burrowed banelings underwater. You can even see air bubbles coming up. That's so cool. So burrowed banelings can burrow underwater and not suffocate. There, now we have learned scientific facts about banelings. They are not drowning anytime soon. Turrets shooting away at these Mutalisks. It looks like Hawk is in a pretty good position, up by about 15 supply, but Jimmy is certainly not dead yet. He could have pulled something out like we saw on Metalopolis, though Metalopolis does favor this Marine tank composition just because of the various cliffs and things like that. Elevatoring is quite easy to do. Bel'Shir Beach is kind of a fat map with not a whole lot of height changes. It's just like a long way with narrow alleys and stuff like that. I'm wondering if these Baneling landmines are going to end up making a difference or not. But all these Lings, Mutas, and everything, Hawk's going to be max soon. He's got 2,300 minerals banked, tons of gas, not tons of gas, but enough gas to remax pretty quickly. 8 drones on the way. That's going to put him up to 77 harvesters. Yikes. Trying to keep track of just things happening around the map, but I actually have been watching the minimap every now and then, haven't really seen Jimmy up to much. He's going to drop a scan, pick off some creep tumors, and wow, even my computer, which is amazing, is starting to lag a little bit over these motion graphics. I mean, you'd actually scale that down if we played Bel'Shir Beach again, or if a huge encounter happens. I hope everything will be okay, but yeah, this map did debut a while ago, but here we go. Oh, throwing up the health bars for the fungal growth. Wowzer cowzer. The Banelings were used, but it looks like it weren't too effective. The scan actually picked them off. But man, there was a ton of Marines getting juiced by those fungal growths. Centrifugal hooks coming along now, melee attacks level 3, and 72 Zerglings in production. Oh my god, and that Greater Spire is going to be done in just a moment. I haven't seen any Corruptors yet. Looking at that production tab, or that units tab, only 1 Corruptor could be morphed into a Broodlord. Now the Greater Spire is done. We'll see if he ends up doing it, but that fungal was big. Choked for a second, otherwise no. Hopefully there's no lag for you guys. This is going to be pretty epic climax, I think. All these Zerglings coming in, not even turned into Banelings. He's just going to run into Speedlings. They are quite meaty. They have 2-0 upgrades, and they're going to plow through these Marines and tanks, these unsieged tanks. Oh, the Marines were just on move command, and the Lings just killed them all. They're going to be able to surround these tanks as well, kill off a bunch of supply depots. Jimmy's still on the move up here, but not actually doing anything currently. So these Lings are going to have free reign and kill a ton of Marines. Let's look at the units lost here. Very, very even, actually, for both players. So Hawk back at home, now starting to make some Broodlords. Now centrifugal hooks will be done in just a moment. Melee attacks level 3 will be done in just a moment, and more Broodlords are being created. Zerg Flyer Carapace being upgraded. That +1 armor for its flyer is pretty good stuff. Ultralisk Cavern being built. This will be the first game where we see any Ultralisks. Check this out. Oh my god, the Zergling Shredder going through here. So many Mutalisks and Infestors. Banelings. I can't even describe what just happened fast enough. There were fungals on all the Marines, and Banelings just crashed right into them. 174 supply against 97. Things are looking super duper grim now for ThisIsJimmy. These siege tanks are going to be his last bastion of hope. But with this reinforcement coming, 13 Corruptors, you can only imagine that half of them are going to be flipped over to Broodlords, and things are going to be looking really bad for Mr. Jimmy. He's got his third base here. I think his mine is most likely mained out. Main is mined out, not mine is mained out. But yeah, Hawk just on a tear here. He's got about 80 supply more than his opponent. He's got way more harvesters, strong economy, super amount of bases, even the gold he managed to snag there. The creep spread is like 90% of the map. It's already into Jimmy's natural here, and things are just not looking so good for him. So what's going on? We actually have a ton of Mutalisks still in the sky. There's a drop being attempted by Jimmy, but he runs right into a pack of Mutalisks. Not going to happen. And there's the GG. You have no need to even play this out. Hawk is our champion. 2 weeks straight. He defeated Rain Perfect 4-3 last week and defeated ThisIsJimmy from Check 6 4-1 this week. Huge congratulations to Vile.Hawk, and thank you very much to ThisIsJimmy for playing today. We did have a little bit of a late start, but things ended up better than expected. Thanks to our 1,000 live viewers, and thanks to everyone watching these VODs on youtube.com/ComplexityInsider. The V takes place every week, hosted by Complexity Gaming, sponsored by Creative Sound Blaster, PNY, QPadUSA.com, and Origin PC. I'm AskJoshy. You can check out my stuff on Facebook.com/AskJoshy, Twitter.com/AskJoshy, and most importantly, YouTube.com/AskJoshy. Thank you very, very much, and we'll see you back next week. Vile.Hawk will take on a new challenger, most likely on Sunday once again, so see you there.